Hello and welcome to the session of Cost and Works Accounting. I, Dr. Santosh Pagare from KG Somaiya College of Arts, Commerce and Science, Kopargaon, welcome you to this session. In today's session, we will be studying the topic of purchase procedure and especially material control. So let's begin with the session. Material, labor and expenses are the three important elements of cost, and hence material is an important element of cost and constitutes a major factor of production. These are the real resources and basic inputs which are used for producing a quality product. The term material may be defined as anything that can be stored or stockpiled. Material cost constitutes a major portion of the capital invested in manufacturing companies, and hence material management becomes very important. Material control is systematic control over purchasing, storing and consumption of materials so as to maintain a regular and timely supply of materials, at the same time avoiding overstocking. Material control refers to the management function concerned with acquisition, storage, handling and use of materials so as to minimize wastage and losses, derive maximum economy and establish responsibility for various operations through physical checks, record keeping, accounting and other devices. Let's study the need for material control. That means why material control is necessary in every organization. First, availability of materials. There should be a continuous availability of all types of materials in the factory so that the production may not be held up for want of any material. Minimum quantity of each material is fixed to permit production to move on schedule. Second, no excessive investment in materials. There should be no excessive investment in stocks. Investment in materials must not tie up funds that could be better used in other activities. Overstocking should be avoided, keeping in view the disadvantages it carries. For this purpose, a maximum quantity is assigned to each item of material above which stock should not be exceeded. Third, reasonable price. While purchasing materials, it is seen that it is purchased at a reasonably low price. Quality is not to be sacrificed at the cost of the lower price. The material purchased should be of that quality alone which is needed. Fourth, minimum wastage. There should be minimum possible wastage of materials while these are being stored in godowns by storekeeper or used in the factory by the workers. Wastage should be allowed up to a certain level known as normal level of wastage, and it should not exceed that level. Leakage or theft of materials must be avoided to keep the cost of production under control. Storekeeper and workers should be trained to handle the material in a scientific way to avoid the wastage. The storekeeper is to keep the stores neat and tidy to avoid the wastage due to rust, dust or dirt. Fifth, no risk of spoilage and obsolescence. In order to avoid spoilage and obsolescence, a maximum quantity of each material is determined and a proper method of issue of material is followed. The materials received earlier should be issued earlier. Sixth, ready information about availability of materials. The storekeeper can supply this information because he keeps an up-to-date record of every item of stocks under a proper system of material control. Seventh, misappropriation of material. Material can be easily misappropriated by employees because generally misappropriation of cash is considered to be more serious than misappropriation in kind. Therefore, this requires an internal check on materials which is a part of material control. 8. Right amount of payment to suppliers. Invoices received from suppliers should be approved for payment only if the items of materials ordered have been received and properly checked to avoid excess payment to suppliers. Let's see the essentials of material control. First, there should be proper cooperation and coordination among the departments involved in purchasing, receiving and inspection, storage, sales, production and accounting so that there may be no inadequate availability of material which may disrupt production and lose sales. At the same time, purpose of coordination is that there should be no excessive investment in material leading to unnecessary carrying cost and obsolescence risk. Second, purchases of materials should be centralized. That is, one purchasing department should be authorized to make all purchases of materials to avoid reckless buying by all departments and to ensure that all purchases are made at the most reasonable prices. Third, there should be proper scheduling of material. Fourth, a good method of classification and codification of material should be followed. Fifth, there should be proper inspection of materials when they are received by the receiving department. Sixth, standard forms for requisitions, orders, issue, transfer of material from one job to the another, and transfer of material from one job to the stores should be used. 7. The storage of material should be well planned to avoid losses from theft, carelessness, damage, deterioration, evaporation, and pilferage. 8. Essential. A good method of issue of material to various jobs, orders, or processes should be followed so that there is delivery of right type of material to the job, order, or processes in the right quantity and at the right time. Perpetual inventory system of material should be operated to facilitate regular checking and avoiding closing down factory for stock taking with this system. It is possible to determine at any time the quantity and value of each type of material in stock. 10. A system of internal check should be introduced to ensure that all transactions involving materials are checked by properly authorized and independent persons. 11th, minimum, maximum and reordering levels for each type of material should be fixed to ensure that there is no shortage of material and that there is no overstocking. 12th essential, ordering quantity for each type of material should also be fixed to reduce the ordering cost and carrying cost of material. 13th, a careful choice should be made of the method of valuing the material issues because it affects the cost of the jobs or processes and the value of the closing stock of materials in the stores. 14th essential, adequate records to control materials during production should be maintained to ensure that there is minimum possible wastage. 15th, information about availability of materials should be made continuously available to the management so that planning of production may be done keeping in view the inventory balances in stores. Information about obsolete and defective stock should also be given to the management from time to time so that steps may be taken for the disposal of such stock. Let's see the advantages of material control. For effective material control system, first, it ensures availability of material of production. Second, it reduces wastage of raw materials. Third, it helps in achieving economy of buying and storage cost. Fourth, it reduces pilferage, theft, obsolescence and other material losses. Fifth, it avoids excessive investment in stocks. Sixth, it helps in maintaining perpetual inventory system to furnish information to management regarding materials. Seventh, it helps in ascertaining value of job, processes and orders. In today's session, we have studied the definition of job, need for material control, essential